All right, ladies and gentlemen. So the topic I'm about to teach is one of the easiest topics, I think, in chemistry. It's definitely one of the easier ones with regards to solution chemistry. And the topic is something called titrations. Now, I will tell you, titrating is more of a laboratory skill than it really is like a hardcore mathematic thing. So the thing is, I'm going to teach you how to do the math, and you're going to practice the math right now. But eventually, what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to apply this using lab techniques, phenolphthalein, Erlenmeyer flats, etc. And that's when we'll make titrations really come to life. But for now, in your packet, you have some things I want to go over with you. So titrations, the equation is pretty familiar, and it is this. You take the molarity of the acid, so M little a, molarity of the acid, times the volume of the acid. Now, it does not matter with this volume if it's in liters or milliliters, as long as you do the same on both sides. So the molarity of the acid times the volume of the acid equals the molarity of the base times the volume of the base. Now, let me remind you, right? Acids, things like HCl, right? That's the one that we're going to most commonly utilize for our acid-base titration labs. Why? Arrhenius definition, right? It's a proton, or it's got H's, so it's a proton donor, thus also complying with Bronsted-Lowry. Now, here you have the molarity of your base, the volume of your base. Remember, bases are things like NaOH, sodium hydroxide. That'll be our most common base that we will utilize in lab. So, molarity of the acid times the volume of the acid, molarity of the base, volume of the base. And like I said, the cool thing is, as long as your volumes match up, you're good to go. So you have some problems in your packet, like normal, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the first one. So the first one says, if it takes 54 milliliters of 0.1 molar NaOH, so that is the base. So that goes on the right-hand side. And again, you have 0.1 molar NaOH, and you have 54 milliliters of it. So I'll tell you, I'm not a huge fan of the stiffing of figures here, because you only have one sig thing, but we're going to deal with that. It says to neutralize 125 milliliters of an HCl solution. What is the concentration? Now remember, concentration is just a fancy word, or is the word for molarity. Molarity means concentration or the strength of the acid, right? So this just becomes algebra. In order to isolate the M, you divide both sides by 125. When you divide both sides by 125, I'm going to peek and look at my answers. You get the following thing. You get 0.04 in the label of molar. Titrations are just that easy, guys. All right, number two. If it takes 25 milliliters of 0.05 molar HCl. So now you have HCl, which is an acid, and it's 0.05 molar. And it says that you have 25 milliliters of it. Again, you only have one significant figure. Ugh. Right here. There's two there. To neutralize 345 milliliters of base. All right, NaOH, what is the concentration? Again, so now you're solving for the molarity of the base, right? Again, algebra says divide both sides by 345, divide by 345. You do the math on this, you're only allowed one significant figure. Kind of a bummer, but that's okay because it ends up being a really small number, 0.004, and the label of molar. Give you some examples of titrations. You have some in your packet and some questions I'd like you to go through. Now, with regards to questions number 4 and 5, okay? It says, can I titrate a solution of an unknown concentration with another unknown? The answer is no. You have to know 3 of the 4 things in order to figure out. Otherwise, you have an X and a Y. It's pretty tough to figure that out, okay? And the last one, number 5, it says, explain the difference between the end point and the equivalence point in a titration. I'm going to do another video in a minute, which I will upload along with this one, that will show me doing a titration. In that titration, the lab skill, I'll explain the answer to number 5. So you're going to want to watch the other video to get that information. Take care.